Hello, welcome to this AOPS tutorial. So basically this is going to be a full tutorial series for using the patching system that comes with Game Launcher Creator V3 Indie and Developer Edition. Now I'm going to split this into separate parts because in the past we've usually done like one long video tutorial, and in doing that the tutorial can end up being like 50 minutes long, maybe an hour, and and people have to scrub through and maybe go back to certain parts. So I figured with Game Launcher Creator V3 and this brand new AOPS tutorial, I'm going to do it in segments. So I'm going to create a playlist here on YouTube, and you'll be able to follow that series through. So you can just literally skip to, once you've watched all of them together, if you need to go back to a certain part, you can just literally skip to literally that video. Or that part in the playlist, and I think that's for the best. Now AOPS, just let me just give you a quick overview of how AOPS works if you're not familiar. AOPS is very, very simple at the core. Basically all you do is you scan over your game files and AOPS creates a patch list file, and this patch list file stores information about every single game file for your game. Such as the game executable, the exe, the DLL files, the image files, basically every single file that's in your game folder that the user needs to play the game. And once it's created the patch list file, it's then literally just a case of uploading that patch list file and then uploading the game files, and then configuring the launcher and the patch system just to tell it where certain things are, and the amount of things that you need to tell or instruct the patcher to use is not a lot by all means. It's literally about 3 or 4 different URLs that you need to put in, because the system is dynamic, and it's dynamic for a reason. It's so that you can change stuff willy-nilly at any point in the future, because I'm a firm believer that people should not be limited with the developments, and that's the beauty of Game Launcher Creator V3, is that you can edit your launchers at any time, you can edit configuration files at any time and update these files as well. And that's the reason why all these files are stored online. One is to make them accessible for the patcher no matter where the user is, and 2, you can update stuff in real time as well. But yeah, I mean, on the surface AOPS might seem complicated, but honestly, it really isn't. It's just understanding the fundamentals of how AOPS works. And once you get the gist of that, you'll be flying after that. Now, one thing I can't stress enough is you should read the documentation. The documentation is there for a reason. I've taken the time out to write that documentation. I've done lots of tutorials like how to build a new patch with GLC V3. And it's all written, these kind of tutorials, they take a good hour or 2 hours to write up. So before you go to the Discord server and oh, how does this work or how does that work, and go to the documentation system first and follow that through. But obviously you've got this video tutorial series here to follow as well. But yeah, like I said, on the surface it might seem complicated, but at the core it really isn't. It really isn't, and hopefully we can ascertain that throughout this tutorial series here for AOPS. I'm going to try and explain it in the most simple and best terms I can, in layman terms, and just let's see how we get on. But like I said, the Discord support is there if you need it. The documentation system is there if you need it, and we have email support as well. We do have a support team that are ready for helping out wherever you may need help. But again, AOPS is dead easy, and I know I keep saying it, but I'm going to show it in this tutorial series. So in order to follow this tutorial for AOPS, you obviously will need the Indie or the Developer Edition of Game Launcher Creator V3. So when you're ready, launch up Game Launcher Creator V3 and let's get started on building a patch system with Game Launcher Creator.